on? It's Indiana. Welcome back. Welcome if it's your first time here. It's a little late in the week, but I'm here, baby, okay? It's a lot going on, like with what I'm doing, and then, of course, in the internet streets. First, we're going to start with the wine. I'm drinking an Anciano is the brand, and this is a Tempranillo, and it's a 10-year vintage. Actually, it's a 14-year vintage because it's like 2008 is the year that it was bottled, corked, if you will. Very deep in color as far as look. Now, when I opened this bottle, I really didn't know what to expect. As far as like aroma in general, as far as, taste, because I like Tempranillo, I tend to look for or expect like a base type of flavor, if you know what I mean. For the most part, the wine can taste like anything. And, oh, I had a real blank. I'm always drawing a blank, yeah? What? Anyway, but once I opened up the bottle, it had to decant, and I was like, like I always like to see that little like smoke fog, if you will, come up out the wine bottle. I don't have an actual decanter, so you can just open up the bottle, uncork it, and leave it open for a little while, 15 minutes, if you will, and it can decant in that way. The purpose of an actual decanter is to give the entire bottle, like to loosen up those molecules in the entire bottle instead of just on the top. So what it's doing, you're taking the bottle, pouring into the decanter, so everything from the top to the last drop, if you will, is moving and going to another bottle, and then it's like coming from the bottom, like the sediments are coming from, they move around, of course, but what was on the bottom, that starts to, have room to move around for. Anyway, I'm getting so deep into this, and it's not even a lesson. The wine itself, what it looks like, deep in color, like purplish, if blood was like still in your veins, that type of look of color. When you go get your dread blonde, vampire talk, and you see how deep, because it's going, the needle's in your vein, so it's going directly from your vein into the needle, and how dark your blood is. That's what I think this looks like. So it's like a blood purple, deep, deep red blood purple. And then the smell is, now, might sound odd, but the smell is like a deep cherry and tomato, like a cherry tomato. I don't know what to explain, because tomato, I'm not the most fond of the veggie fruit tomato. Like, I know tomato is a fruit, but we definitely use it like a vegetable. I'm not necessarily fond of tomatoes by themselves, and the smell of tomatoes can be a little off-putting, if you will, in certain occasions. But it works in this wine. It's like it's exposing you to the world of what it means to be a fruit, or just how the tomato earned its rights to be a fruit. Yeah, that's how I imagine nature did its work here in this case. All right. So we got look, smell, taste. Of course, it has that base taste to me as far as Tempranillo goes. That deep, again, you still kind of taste that deep cherry, the dark cherry, black cherries, if you will. But then Also some pepper. Like if we were making a sandwich. Oh, yeah. If we were making a sandwich, the accoutrement would be, your tomatoes, if you will, your cherry tomatoes, some type of black pepper, maybe a raspberry vinaigrette if it isn't like black cherries. And then nothing too citrusy. But if you just vinegar, there we go. I'll say vinegar. I'm going to go ahead and get my makeup done before I pour me some more. I don't want to get too happy. I'm on my way to a heels class. First, though, I got to go across town to the next town over, actually, to drop off some nachos that I made for a friend of mine. I told her I'd bring her some. She asked for some. Uh-oh. This thing is... I got it on here. It'll fit, but it's tight and then it's leaning. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with it being tight. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting ready now. Now, my plan was to get extra cute, if you know what I mean. Like, I was going to use my other palettes, my eyeshadow palettes. That's lip. I'm going to just use that for my lips. But I was going to use my other eyeshadow palette. However, my really colorful ones. However, I was a little pressed for time after cooking. And then I was just like, okay, I want to get, film some footage. Should I say footage in this case? I mean, it is footage in a sense, since that's just the terminology of filming. But content, I'm going to use that. I wanted to get some content filmed. This is the nasty glue. I'm going to just use this glue. I wanted to get that done. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and drink some wine. I was like, ooh, I have some more heavier topics. They're much more mature and thought-provoking topics on my mind. But I was like, quite honestly, I'm not prepared. One, because I don't already have something up. And two, I'm kind of all over the place this week. So I need to do that to commit, to getting something done, even if right now it's not like on the day that I want to. However, when it came to having something to talk about, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And then I was like, ooh, since I'm going to the dance class, I can kind of just chit chat, do my makeup, and then sip as I do such. It's not like I never did it before here on my channel. That was actually the very first wine video that I did. I was doing my makeup and I spilled, knocked over my wine, red wine. If it wasn't a Tempranillo, it was like a Sangiovese, if I'm not mistaken. It was one or the other, but it was definitely a red wine. Now, to the point. Going to go ahead and do my makeup. I was going to use my colorful palettes, but instead I'm using my everyday palette just because I don't have the time that I think I'll need to get, a cuter look done. I'll get there. Or I'll just do it one day, one or the other. Primer. I got stay put. I'm going to do both of these because I'm going to be sweating on heels. So I'm going to this heel class, okay? And the other day, I went roller skating in the morning. It was a little later in the afternoon, actually. It was like around lunchtime. Like exactly at lunchtime or like around 11:40 or something. And I only skated for a few minutes, like 15 minutes. I think it said 17 on my app that I use. And when I decided I was ready to go, I skated back up to where my things were, like my shoes and, my little bag where I could take off my knee pads and everything like that. And it was on the rail. It's concrete and rail. It's somewhere you can sit or where we choose to sit, and where, skaters and boarders can do tricks on. So I was sitting there and I was skating towards it. This is the bench. This is me skating towards it. And I was going to, turn to sit, and I overturned, mind you, and lost my balance. Tell me why I fell like in a dip, like in a shablam with one leg up and then the other leg bent. But I wasn't expecting that. And I was on roller skates. And that it hurt. Like my ankle hurt, my knee hurt. Not my actual hip area hurt, but the part where my back is, that hurt in the, hip area. And I was like, damn, I wasn't ready for that. Like the way I fell, and it was so unexpected. When I fell, I kind of wanted to cry. You know how you were a little kid and you hurt yourself when you by yourself. And you want to cry. Because you by yourself and you hurt yourself and there's no one there to console you and you gotta, self-soothe type of thing. So I was like, I'm not gonna cry over this. I'm a big girl. I'm grown, okay? Even though I'm hurting. But, I'm gonna sit here and just get myself together. And I was trying to stop my app going through my phone. So by the time I landed in the dip and decided that I wanted to cry, but I wasn't going to cry, and I sat up and I moved my foot and I just straightened out my legs like in the seated pike position, turned off the app. I think I changed my music and all that, and then slowly got up, like turned around on all fours and kind of crawled and reached to the ramp part and got up and set my behind down and then gathered myself because that was tragic. It hurt. Like, I was trying to convince myself, like, hey, let me go ahead and go back, even though I'm in pain. But I'm like, I don't know, because I've always been into skating. Like, for my 18th birthday, I went roller skating. Like, I booked myself the roller skating rink and invited my friends to come roller skating when my kids were babies. I got them their own like roller skates, roller blades. I got myself the roller skates, and going to the skate park was kind of like a family thing we used to do. Doing it now, I've always been into roller skating. Oh my God, back in the days when I was a little kid, not like a little kid, late elementary, middle school. Those were some of my favorite field trips. But, as you progress in age through life as well, your body isn't as resilient, and you honor the pain that you're in. As in, you don't necessarily always ignore it. At least not me right now. I'm not necessarily on the team, and I want to be able to do this for a while, as long as possible. And I don't think forcing myself to skate on an injured leg when I'm not an athlete contributes to getting better and being resilient and building endurance. Not in my head. Okay. So I'm doing all this chit-chatting about the frivolous things. I don't even know if I want to talk about it, so I won't. At least not that. But as I said, there's been a lot going on in the world, of course, in pop culture and celebrity world, if you will. What's been going on between the Smiths and Chris Rock. And then, oh my, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. That's a lot to, analyze, unpack, and then have an opinion on altogether. Because their trial is still going. And then, what else? See, thinking of things on the top of my head that like have some deeper meaning, like some deeper social issue attached to it isn't the easiest, because I'll think on one topic and then I want to, write other little mental notes and then go on to the next topic. So doing that like on camera, that's probably not my best attribute. So we're just going to talk about more frivolous things. So going to the Hill class tonight, which Echo, ¿qué hora es?
Son las 7:07 de la tarde.
Okay, so it's 7:07 p.m. and I want to be out of here by like 7:30. No later than 7:45. It take 30 minutes to get. Hopefully I'm not late to the class. Hopefully. Because I'm always doing too much when it comes to this makeup. And I'll be like, it's just going to be something simple. It'll never end up being that simple. But I'm taking the Hill class, one, to have something to do. I like having something to do, and dance is one of them. And then two is like, usually when I tell myself, it's like, oh, I'll rehearse some type of, little dance routine or something in my room. I'll find something on YouTube. So usually when I watch something on YouTube, I like to do this. If it's like something that you have to do along with it. Like, for instance, okay, if it's an exercise video, I like to watch the exercise video through. Take a few notes on my phone, write them down or what have you, and then just go back and do it as my own personal workout. Incorporate it into my own personal workout. When it's things like dance steps, maybe this is just because how I've always learned. That's something I'd much rather be in person for. Like, I can sit and watch a dance competition, dance class. I'd rather be there. Like, I've never done an online dance class. So I don't know how I would react to it, to be quite honest. React to it psychologically. You know what I mean? I ask a lot of questions. You know what I mean? It's deeper than just having fun to me, even though I always enjoy myself. But I'm going to the dance class because, one, I want to get into burlesque dancing. And I've been doing, boudoir shoots here and there. I've got about 2 or 3 under my belt right now. And even though I'm in the shared space and it's tight in here, so, things like my pole, and I wanted to get a bar, but again, tight space. I can't do those things right now. So, dance classes I'll have to catch when I can, especially now since more and more things are lifting from the pandemic, and now actual in-person dance classes are a go. I'm definitely doing those. So a heels class seems like the perfect remedy to not having a to not having my pole nor having a bar, and to having some way to kind of practice and be able to do some sort of boudoir, since watching dance videos and dance video instructions via YouTube right now are a little distracting for me. Like, they're not productive is what I'm saying. It's not like I'm distracted from watching the video, but why did I take this out? But I'm not being much productive, if you will. So that's going to hopefully take care of that. And this heel instruction class is a 2-part series. The first part is like beginner open level. You know, you come in and it's just like teaching you simple movement on heels and, you know, short combos, maybe like one little 8 count here and there, or even just a 4 count or 2. And then there's a next one like 2 or 3 weeks after that, after tonight. And that one is building off of the previous one and adding some floor work. So I think I'm going to get in a good little lesson with the classes combined. I'm putting on lashes. I hardly ever put on lashes on camera, so you probably won't get me doing lashes on camera. Not even going to lie to you. Not even going to lie to you. Nope, nope, nope. Also, what I'm doing, and here lately what I've been doing, so I've been on Twitch a lot, and I've been live streaming. It's mostly been me streaming from work and doing bartender stuff. One, it's for two, well, probably more than 2 reasons, but the 2 main reasons why I do it at work is, one, if I'm, if we're slow and I'm bored, I can chit chat and the basis can be like bartender stuff. And then 2, if we're busy, I'm putting on a show, I'm mixing and making drinks. And then the main reason is the third, last but not least, it's actually the most important reason why is I'm getting, one, used to filming all the time outside of just sit down, point and shoot. I'm getting used to being on camera and having something to talk about while I'm doing something, more often. Like I'm getting more practice and more stamina doing that. I'm also able to, save whatever I film, I get to save. And then I can, they have different categories on Twitch. So I don't necessarily have to commit to anything right now. Like, my focus isn't necessarily building an audience on Twitch. It's building myself as talent on Twitch, if that makes sense. I know that's where, historically, that's what people did on YouTube. But how I see it, that's where I can function, or that's how I can function on Twitch and YouTube. I can put my best foot forward. You know what I mean? I can be a bit more polished here, since I'm a little bit more focused here on YouTube. Now, I think, yeah, this is good. This is good as far as face. Oh, I forgot my liner. I was looking for it earlier and then I realized that I took the short one that I had out of here and it's in my bartender bag. And then my bigger ones, they're in my makeup brush cups. And they're put away. They're in my closet. So, I think I did with this. I think so. So, I'm about to do mascara. But what I was saying was, I think, or at least I hope, I pulled off the excess glue that keeps the lashes together off, and it doesn't, unless I just didn't do a good job before. So I'm going to do my mascara, and then I am going to, should I do lashes? See, I always talk myself out of something. Should I do lashes today? Maybe not, because I want to be on time for my homegirl. I don't want to have her, keep her waiting. This is my eye stuff. That's my leg stuff. Okay. Yeah. So I am not going to do any lashes. No lashes today. But I am going to finish this wine. Obviously. Oak mature. Oh! So I didn't see that. Again, not reading the bottle all the way. I didn't see it was matured in oak. And I gotta sneeze. Alright. Time to sip her some more. That was an ugly swirl, but I was like, let me sip. And there we go. Also, while I'm doing my mascara, I went to the movies the other day. The kiddos went to go see the Doctor Strange movie, and then I went to go see Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That's literally the name of the movie. And it has Michelle Yeoh in it. If you've seen Memoirs of a Geisha, she was the mentor geisha. Okay? She was the mentor geisha. That's the main, the easiest thing for me I can think of that she can be recognized for. But she was in it, and well, I heard about the movie one from watching Andre from Black Nerd Comedy, and he brought it up as, he explained it's like a multiverse movie that isn't, a non-Marvel multiverse movie. And I was like, okay, because I would like to see Doctor Strange, but I'm not as hype about it as going to see Spider-Man, or I didn't go see Avengers. I didn't go see Thor. I saw Black Widow. I saw Black Widow. But that's because, it was girl superhero. And I was like, I can see it. Because I'm not committed to superhero comics. I just like the movies when I see it. For instance, way back in 2001, when I was myself in 7th grade? Or 6th grade? 6th, 7th grade? Or was it 2003? When it came out. I think it was 2001 because I was in 7th grade, 7th or 8th grade. And in 2003, I was 9th or 10th. Anyway, when it came out then, that first one, the more I saw the trailer, the more interested I became in the movie. And then, after seeing the movie, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go see these Spider-Man movies the more, more often that they come out. Oh, when I don't do that first, it messes up. But anyways, wasn't interested in Doctor Strange. Took the kiddos, let them go see it because they were. And I was like, hey, Andre did a review on this and he enjoyed it, pretty much suggested it. So why not? I went to go see it, and I'll I'll say I definitely like the, like existentialism and heroism in it. The movie would get ridiculous at times. That's something Andre said, but it was funny at times. And then again, you think about like it was the Daniels, and I'm not like readily familiar with their work, but I know from how I grew up watching TV, and when I would watch like foreign films, and some of them would be Asian, some of their fantastical or satirical films had a lot of ridiculousness in it. You know what I mean? As opposed to, like American cinema, if you will, like from America. Like in America, the only movies of ours that have ridiculous things in it are the satirical ones. In, like Korean, sometimes even Japanese movies, they throw in humor. It can be dark and sometimes it can be ridiculous. This, in this case though, it was throughout the movie, like the ridiculousness. There was this ongoing sexualized joke in it, which if you're part of the community, the life, you get it. Then, oh wow, the lessons in the movie. I don't want to tell the movie because, you would have to explain the movie, and then the scenarios, you'd be telling the movie. But usually in movies, there's like a major lesson, a major arc plot, if you will. In this movie, I'll say there was one main plot, but there were so many specific lessons within the plot, as far as like from generation to generation, between the mother and the daughter, between the mother, who is also a daughter, and her father, between the father and the granddaughter, between the wife, the husband and wife. Again, that relationship, his daughter's relationship, the father wasn't with that. The individual relationship the woman had with herself, and her perception of herself, and things like it was deep. The plot and the lessons was everything, everywhere, all at once. I will say like how people, when they jump from universe to universe, and how when they would jump into their respective selves in that universe, they would do something like, Raven Simone-esque, and it would freak out the woman. Her name's Evelyn in the movie, but it would freak the woman out and confuse her, like, hold on, is this you from this universe, or is this you from another one, trying to explain to me? After a while, she got the hang of it. Oh man, there were so many different universes. One of the most ridiculous ones you saw was when people had hot dogs for hands, for fingers. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis was in this too, by the way. Yeah, she was a character, more of a character in this, and this is something that I like about Jamie Lee Curtis as an entertainer, actor, performer. She's she seems committed to the art, and like she doesn't seem to take for granted the opportunities being a character actor has. You know what I mean? Like there are plenty of actors who have built careers, you know, pretty lucrative, substantial, and consistent careers being character actors. And we call them character actors because, it's like they have a defining feature and what have you as far as their personality. But what I think, as far as who they represent, when it's art imitating life, are those people who are the deepest. Like, you know, they're extremely observant and feel a lot, like feel as far as sentiment, and how they express themselves is usually over the top. You know what I mean? I think with the movie being ridiculous and a little, well, I mean, of course it was going to be all over the place. It was everything, everywhere, all at once. I think I enjoyed it. Like, if you're into like fantasy, ridiculousness, sentimental lesson learning, if you don't mind, the aspect of like a foreign esque or foreign type of film, and you're not necessarily into superhero or Marvel, DC, any type of films like that, I would suggest giving it a try. Because, you won't be bored. You won't be bored. You will laugh. I did laugh out loud, like genuinely at times. If, again, this might depend on your sense of humor. But I also, maybe because I'm a woman, but I felt the sentiment that the movie was not just grasping for, but was able to capture and express. Like, at one point in time, they were rocks, literally just sitting there. And this was in a universe where Earth, where was it was inhabitable. Yeah, it was inhabitable. Oh my goodness, it's the wine, I promise. Because I know that word. But the Earth was inhabitable, and she and her daughter were rocks. And then, oh my God, see, even this, just explaining this little thing is like, it's going to make me tell this story about between her and her daughter, and then her husband, what she learned about their relationship. And I think that's the most important part of the movie. Like, those parts I should save and let you see for yourself. But anyways, and at some point in time, she had gotten some googly eyes on the rock, okay? And that became part of the lesson she learned. It's like learning how to fight, because in her universe she didn't fight for anything in a sense. And then two, when she did learn how to fight, after a while, she learned how to fight in a more thoughtful and like thoughtful, and you know how when you pull people into you, therefore you don't have to swing. But yeah, that was the point. Let me get, okay, I'm not gonna need the brush. All right, this is it. This is literally my everyday makeup. I might put on this one. If not, my dark lipstick. So, thank you for watching. If you get a chance, despite my horrible review that did not do it justice of Everything Everywhere All at Once, go ahead, go see it. 2, I'm headed to my dance class, so I'm just going to go ahead and say bye, finish off my wine, and see y'all next time. All right, bye.